It's a great day at the Y. This is Hannah. How can I help you? Wait, no, I can't say that. There's nobody here to talk to. So I'm going to talk to you all. My name is Hannah, and I am the co-supervisor of the Welcome Center over at the Fairgrounds Y. I spend my days talking to people on the phone, in person, and then on the phone, and then in person again. I've been at home for a month with nobody to talk to except my husband and my dog. So I figured I can at least talk to you all, and hopefully you'll talk back in the comments. Okay? Okay, cool. So today we are going to make some coconut lime rice. This is really, really good if you have a whole lot of people to feed, or if you just really don't feel like cooking more than once a week. Fellow gym bros, if you are looking to change up the usual rice and chicken breast that you're eating, use this recipe. It's real, real good. Okay, so things that you are going to need to make this coconut lime rice. Coconut oil, the coconut. A lime. A zester to use with the lime. You are going to need 1 cup of brown rice, 2 cups of water, 2 bouillon cubes. I prefer to use the bouillon cubes and 2 cups of water rather than using chicken broth, but that's just me. But if you are going to make this recipe, don't just use plain water because it tastes so much better if you use broth. Put those over there. Come back to this. And also, perhaps the most important ingredient, garlic. This is 1-ish things of garlic. Use however much or however little you want, but more garlic is always better. Okay, so this is a super duper simple recipe. The only chopping that's involved, cutting board and a knife are also necessary, is to mince the garlic. And we also want to, let's take off the sticker, we don't want that. To also cut up the lime. Cut the lime into wedges because it's just easier to squeeze that way. All right, so we got that. Let's turn on our pot. So the amount that I have here is going to make about 2 cups of cooked rice, and that's enough for me and my husband to last us about a week. But you can certainly double this recipe. In that case, you would use 2 cups brown rice, 4 cups water or broth, and that'll last you longer, or let you feed a few more people. All right, so while that is heating up, you are going to take your coconut oil. You can find this you can definitely find it at Walmart with the right above the olive oils. All right, so you take 1 tablespoon of coconut oil, just scrape it out in there, and then take your spatula, and then you want that to just scrape it off into the pot while the pot is heating up. Get in there. All right, so oil is going to melt. And while we are waiting for the coconut oil to melt, which is going to take, I don't know, maybe another 30 seconds, we're just going to take our zester, zest the lime. Wow, that smells real good already. So you're only going to want about a tablespoon of lime zest, but again, use as much or as little as you would like. I could measure it out, or you could just eyeball it. All right, so I'm gonna come back to this. So while that is, all right, coconut oil is melted. We want to add the rice to the coconut oil before we put in any other liquid. We're gonna let the rice get all nice and toasty. And we want this to saute for about 2 minutes. All right. So while that is heating up, I'm gonna zest a little bit more lime. If you don't have a zester, you can just use like a box grater. That also works. If you don't have a box grater, totally fine, no biggie. You can just mince up the rind of a lime. Might take you a little longer, but it's okay. Same deal. Just a little bit more. I probably should have zested the lime before I cut it up, but it's fine. This is the zest from about half a lime. Okay, that's pretty good, right? That's pretty good. All right. Okay. Ooh, it's sizzling nice. Ooh, it smells good. It's smelling nice and toasty. That has been 2-ish minutes. All right, so now we are going to throw in the lime zest. All right, add the lime zest. Stir that around a little bit. You don't want it all to clump together. And then now we're going to add our garlic. This is probably 1.5 cloves of garlic. I am a firm believer in that you can never have too much garlic. All right, so stir that around. And then now it's time for the broth. Well, we're gonna make it broth. All right, so ooh, listen to that. Smells so good. All right, got our 2 cups of water. Saved a bouillon cube. Second bouillon cube. Give that a nice stir. Let's get just a pinch of salt. And a second pinch of salt. If you're going to use the bouillon cube, that's going to make it pretty salty, so you don't need to lay on the salt too much. All right, so now you just want to bring this up to a simmer. All right, so once it reaches a simmer, you want to reduce the heat, cover it, even though I covered it already. Shh, don't tell. But once you reduce the heat, bring it down to a low simmer, and then let it do that very soft simmer until all of the broth is absorbed, and that's going to take about 35 minutes. All right, so we're going to wait for that to happen. All right, so it's been about 35 minutes. The broth in our rice has pretty much all been absorbed. All right, so we can go ahead and turn off the heat. Got our lemon wedges. Not lemon, lime. There's a difference. Don't use lemons for this. This is coconut lime rice. Then just go ahead and give it a squeeze in there. Make sure you don't have any paper cuts on your fingers, because it's gonna hurt if you do. All right, and then you know what? I like it pretty limey, so let's just go ahead and put 2 lime wedges in there. Excellent. Give it a good stir. Stir it around. And let's give it a taste. Ooh, that's hot. I dropped some, but really, really good. Pretty good if I do say so myself. All right, so let's go ahead, remove that from the heat, save it for later. Next, we are going to make some Borracho squash and bean burritos to go with this rice. Stay tuned.